Hello, my beautiful Facebook people. It's Lisa Turner here from Psycademy.co.uk. And welcome to it's Monday's Facebook Live. And today it's all about how you can become, what are the 3 things you need to become a spiritual leader and 6-figure psychic. So you need more than 3 things really, but I've put them in 3 categories of the three kinds of things you need. So let's start. Are you ready? Oh, if you have any questions, pop them in the chat box. And if you're watching live, I will answer them live. If you're watching the replay, don't worry, still put your questions in there. I'll come back and get them. I'll come back and get them later and answer them later. Okay, so the first thing you need to be a spiritual leader and 6-figure psychic, the first thing is you need to have some really good skills. Now, in a previous Facebook Live, I talked a lot about being a high-level psychic. And so basically the difference between the difference between a high level and a low level and what it really takes to be a 6-figure psychic and spiritual leader is you need to have the skills in your tool bag that will enable you to create for the client, with the client, profound transformation. So this isn't just information. This isn't just chatting to their dead loved one, which is kind of a low-level psychic medium level. This is about where the client walks in, and there's even 2 levels of transformation. So the first is the client walks in, they got a big problem, and when they walk out, the problem is gone. The second is the client walks in and they're pretty okay, but there's something they want to achieve. They know there's more. And you facilitate them in some way with these powerful skills that you've got to enable for them to be, do, and have more. And these results need to be not only that they feel great, but that they're actually tangible. Now, they might be tangible immediately, or they might be tangible over the longer term. So, for example, one of the things we have in our certified spiritual practitioner training, we know that those people, not everyone does this, but those people who take the training and implement the instructions as they're given, they have everything they need to go away and make 6 figures within 6 months to a year. Now, not everyone does that, and the reason is because they don't do the thing. And that's okay. Not everyone wants to do that. It's not their path or their purpose. But we know that if they follow the steps, they will get the results. Likewise, we know with our initiations, if they show up for an initiation and they go through the processes to get ready for the energy activation, they will experience the activation. And that will be a pretty much instantaneous transformation they will experience. So, for example, somebody coming to our How to Be a 6-Figure Psychic event, they will walk in and they may have some distant, fuzzy, hazy, garbled sense of their spirit guide or their higher self, their guardian angel. And we know that if we take them through, when you go through our higher self initiation, you will have that connection. Your higher self is in your body and you have that connection in an ongoing way. So the first thing you need, skills of transformation. Now, another sort of difference between this is, way to think about it is, it's not enough for your client to go away thinking that you are wonderful. In fact, that should be the last thing on your mind. And a lot of psychics work on this basis. They work on the basis that they want their clients to think they're wonderful. And actually it's kind of rude to the client. I actually don't care if the clients even like me. I mean, it's nice if they do, and I like it if they do, but the most important thing is the client gets the result. And sometimes they get that transformation. And sometimes in order to kind of just nudge them a little bit, sometimes I need to do stuff that they might not like me for. So I need to give them some real honest truths, perhaps. Now, I always do it with love and compassion and with no judgment, other than, I don't think this is working for you. And what about you try something like this, which would work? What about that? So it's skills of transformation, not information and not entertainment, I guess is what I'm saying. There are a lot of psychics, and they even say this is for entertainment purposes only, whatever. And that's fine. If you want to be an entertainer, recognize you're in show business and you're not in the spiritual transformation business. That's okay. It's your choice. Just be aware of what business you're in. So other kinds of skills that give the client choice and creation, so the ability to create their present and their future rather than prediction. Now, predictions actually subtly disempowering for a client because it says, well, this is going to happen. I almost never give predictions. I'll give predictions when I will share something that I see is coming up for the client, an opportunity that they could take advantage of. So number two, so that's number one. Number one is skills of transformation, not information entertainment. Number two, I can count. Number one, number two. I can count sometimes. It's how you show up. It's who you're being. It's your energy. So there are several aspects of this. So it's how confident you feel, but it's even more than that. It's because you don't need to feel confident about yourself. You need to feel confident about about the client and their ability and willingness to change, and how you know that they're going to change. Now, I sometimes don't feel terribly confident, and you know, some of my Facebook lives probably show that, when I'm kind of like, oh my God, am I live or whatever? Am I garbling? And you know, and I probably am garbling like now, but maybe I'm not. It doesn't matter. What I care about is, are you getting this? Are you getting this? And so I have confidence that you will get this. You will understand this message, and those who are ready will receive it. The other thing in terms of how you show up, there's this idea I have of the inner threshold. So it's like, if you're running lots of stuff, lots of negative emotions, limiting beliefs, anxiety, worry, if you're running that, then it's like when your client comes to you to work with you, your client has to kind of upload onto your hard drive, your energy space, into your energy area. They need to upload like their problem. And the bigger the problem, the more space and more energy they will need to contain that issue. And if you're already running a lot of stuff, it's like you've only got like maybe this much inner threshold, versus if you're really clear, you've got like this much. Like, you can't even see my arms because they don't even fit on the screen, like this much inner threshold. So you need to be clear. You need to be free of your own issues. Now, you don't need to be perfect. In fact, that's one of the things that, you know, it's not going to work for your client if they perceive you as being perfect. And if you feel the need to be perfect, that will actually can lead. A lot of people, that's their downfall, because what they do is they think they need to be perfect. So they try and put on this I'm perfect persona, which is of course not their true persona. And like, then they're not really being authentic. So you need to be good, and you need to own your goodness. So like, what you're good at, you need to own, and that's part of your inner threshold and part of how you show up. So you need to be authentic. And another thing that's really useful, that comes into this second category of who you are and how you show up, is you need to get over your money stuff, right? If you want clients, if you want to be a six-figure psychic, you need to get over the money crap about it's not okay to charge. You know, just yesterday we had someone go, how dare you? It's disgusting how much you're charging. You can get this for free in other places. And it's like, well, that's great. Then they can get, well, first of all, no, you cannot get, like, so they said you could get it free in a particular place, and I won't mention what the place is, but I've been to that particular place, and I absolutely know that you cannot get what we're offering on how to be a six-figure psychic, the live event. I absolutely know that where they're saying you can get it, you can't get it. Like, what they've done is they haven't understood what we're offering. That's fine. They're not my client. And I'm okay about them saying it's disgusting. But if you have any qualms about any spiritual person being really wealthy, if you don't feel really great about, isn't it great that that person who's really spiritual is really wealthy? Isn't it great that that spiritual person is the custodian of all that wealth? Because let's face it, and here's a question for you. Which is better, right? Is it better that the wealth is held or looked after, or that those people who are wealthy, is it better that the people who have the money are not spiritual, kind of manipulative, whatever, like those? Is it better if they have the money, like the greedy, manipulative, not connected people, or is it better that spiritual people have the money who can work from the highest good? Like, if you're going to tell me that greedy, manipulative people who are not connected, like non-spiritual people, it's better that they have the money, then continue saying spiritual stuff should be free and spiritual people should be poor, if you really think that. Or if you think, because that's what you're saying basically, but if you think that spiritual people are the best custodians of wealth, then you need to start with you, by you being okay about you being the custodian of wealth. And, oh, I'm liking the likes. So you need to let go of that, like any hang-ups you have about money. You are the best custodian of wealth if you're connected, and because you're connected to your higher self, which is one of the things we do at Six Figure Psychic Live event. So number 2, how you're showing up. So it's your energy, it's your inner threshold, being authentic, being truthful, and 2 others with relating to how you're showing up. You need to be able to influence people now, but not in a manipulative way. And this comes into your energy, your authenticity, and your awareness of how important what you offer is to that person. So if you have somebody who comes into your world and you know that they are in pain, or they're suffering, or that they could, maybe they're not, but they could be even better if they worked with you, you need to be totally okay about saying that to them. And it's not about, I'm really great. It's about, you know what, you're really great, and I'd love to help you be even greater because I see how great you are. So I'm going to say this one thing about energy, which is a little bit controversial, but it's been really brought home to me recently. So those of you who know me and have been around in my kind of sphere for a while will know that I do a lot of work with Western mystery and Eastern mystery and shamanic transmutation of sexual energy. And what I find is that there are kind of like the non-spiritual people work from the solar plexus down, and they're totally okay about their sexual energy, but it's not transmuted and it doesn't come up into love and the higher levels. Then you have spiritual people who work from the heart, throat, third eye up, and they're often very disconnected from their spiritual energy. And then they wonder why they get tired. They wonder why they don't attract the clients. They wonder why they haven't got the inner threshold. They wonder why their stuff comes up all the time. And what we need to do as spiritual people is like, we need, and this is like the message, it's a big message. Okay, I'm going to shuffle in my chair because I get ready to share this big message. In fact, I've got my crystals, which any of those of you who know me will know I put these on when I'm working more closely with spirit. Anyway, that's kind of my little thing that I do. So when you harness your sexual energy, and that by that I mean you learn to transmute it so it moves up your body to activate the higher chakras, so that you still have great sex, you still have great orgasms, but it goes higher and higher and higher and higher and higher, so that it's a full connection to source transmutation. It goes right up your body and right down. This means, so one of the things I've noticed with spiritual people is they either disconnect it and they shut it down so they don't really have any sexual energy, or they kind of use it, but in a and they might use the term sacred sexuality. And honestly, that's just a relabeling of not really that sacred sex, because the way to make it sacred is to transmute it. So it's not just about having more orgasms or better orgasms or having more sex. It's actually about transmuting the orgasmic sexual energy up the body. Now, that's one of the things we teach on several of our programs, so that you can use that. Now, I transmute all the time, and I'm being, very authentic here. I don't normally kind of share this outside of my private inner circle. So I know where this is going. Hello, new people. So I transmute sexual energy using a transmutational breath. I do it every single day, and I do it even more before, say I'm running a retreat, say I'm running an event. So I do that all the time. So someone says I'm cutting out. Oh, okay. Don't know where that is. Maybe it's the connection. Says I've got a good connection. We'll just carry on, see what happens. Next thing, so sexual energy. So it's about transmuting that sexual energy, raising it, harnessing it, transmuting it, not just having it and not using it. Right. Now, this is the third thing you need to be a spiritual leader and six-figure psychic. So you need some business and marketing stuff. So the first thing is, and I had somebody, she's got a particular business and she's been talking about it like it's a business, but today she messaged me and she said, I'm really thinking about this particular business as a business now. It's a business. This is no longer a hobby. Now, it's okay if you want to do it as a hobby, no judgment. That's great. Live it, love it, do it, enjoy it. But if you want to be a professional, spiritual leader, spiritual practitioner, then you have to approach it as a business, which means you need to almost separate yourself, like you work for yourself in the business. So I actually have several hats in my business. So, sometimes I'm the marketing director, sometimes I'm the CEO, and sometimes I'm actually one of the coaches. So I will bill my business my coaching time. Like that. That's how we work it. So that I'm a coach in the business, or I'm a trainer. So I will bill the business for my training time. I don't just, draw dividends or whatever. I bill the business. That's the training I delivered, and that's me doing that. So you need to have, so if you want to approach it as a business, you need to have clients, not friends, who you help out. And a client is someone who pays you for your services. And they need to make changes. So they need to be transforming. So if any of this is resonating with you, if you feel that you are you're really ready to step up and to make these kinds of changes, not only in yourself, but for other people, and you're ready to become that custodian of wealth, you're ready to step into your spiritual power, if that's you, then it would be lovely if you joined us on our How to Be a Six-Figure Psychic and Spiritual Leader live event. It's on the 3rd to the 5th of November. It's in Windsor, not just outside of London. And there's actually some things that we're going to do on the event that I can't even talk about, like other than when the doors are closed and locked and bolted. Not that we won't lock you in, honestly. Well, unless you wanted to, and but that's extra. The locking up and handcuffs, that's extra. Actually, we don't do that at all, just to be really clear. Let's be really clear, we're not doing that. But inside the room, there's some stuff that will happen that I can't share here. But here are some of the things I can share. So number one, we're going to do a full emotional release process. And in fact, on tomorrow's Facebook Live, Michelle said, yeah, we're not doing any locking up. No handcuffs, sorry. I can tell you someone who can, and I'll direct you to them, one of my other past graduates, and she's gone on to really embrace her use of sexual energy. So here's what you're going to get on some of the things on how to be a six-figure psychic and spiritual leader. We're going to do a full emotional release. And in fact, tomorrow on my Facebook Live tomorrow, I'm going to invite you to come with your stuff, because tomorrow, and I'll look at my diary and I'll post when it will be so you can all show up then. Tomorrow we're going to do a sample release. So, and the purpose is, if you want to be at the event but you feel like something's stopping, then there is an emotional block to that. So what we're going to do is ping, we're going to release it. So the other thing you're going to get is we're going to do a higher self initiation. So we're going to bring your higher self above your head, charge it with energy, charge you with energy, raise your energy so that your higher self can merge with you. You go up, it goes down, energy flows around. Whoop, it's great. And it is great. So higher self initiation, higher self therapy, emotional release. And I will also be invoking my guides. So my guides are no one guide. They're a highly evolved stream of consciousness. They're not somebody who's ever lived before. And during that, you are going to be able to dialogue with them. So you'll be having a live channeling invoking session. Now, the fourth thing, that was 3, wasn't it? Or was that 4? The other thing that you're going to do is you're going to learn some really good solid skills. So that if you are already a professional practitioner, you're going to learn some skills to take it further. If you're not yet, but you want to start, these are great skills to get you started. So you're going to be learning some things like how to read the tarot without needing to memorize it. And there's actually a whole, things like how to read auras. Some of this will happen on the event, and some of it you'll get as bonus mini courses that you can take online so that you can learn all this extra juicy goodness. So, the 5th thing, or maybe it's the 6th, I've totally lost count, of the great things that you're going to get on how to be a six-figure psychic and spiritual leader is we're going to give you lunch. Now, if you're like me and like your day kind of revolves around when your next snack is coming, because you like to eat like I do, because that's one of the ways we transmute energy, by the way, is eating. Then we're going to give you lunch, and it's I'm told it's going to be rather nice, and there might even be at the breaks cake. Can't promise it, but I'm pretty sure we'll do our best. We'll figure out how we get some cake in the room. So I hope you've enjoyed this. If you have any questions, pop them in the chatty thing. If you have liked today's live, then click the little likey button or lovey button or any of the other buttons that there, but not the grumpy button, because that'll make me sad. And I know that you're here to make people happy. Actually, it won't make me sad. I'll just go, what? Why didn't they not like me? what's going on? Because everyone loves me, right? I believe that everyone loves me, but not everyone realizes it yet. And that's a good thing to cultivate. That's what I want you to cultivate. The idea that everyone loves you, but they just don't always know it. So till next time, till tomorrow, I'll post the time so you can make sure you're there. It's probably going to be around 4:30-ish, I'm guessing, so that you can join me for the emotional release process. Bring your stuff. Bring the stuff. We'll blow it out. I'll explain how it works and we'll blow it out. It'll be cool. Till then, lots and lots of love. Lots and lots of love. Bye for now. Bye, everyone.